Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अश्रुसुता श्रीमद् AC भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की नमाचार्य ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की मायापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामय की यमुनामय की तुलसी महारानी की श्रील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसलेट बुद्धिस्ट प्रोग्राम की श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी ललिता विशाखा की श्री श्री सीताराम सम्मान की गौर निताय की श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6. Text number 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। दष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 6, Text number 18. Rupam Bhagavato Yatta Manah Kantam Shuchapaham Apashyan Sahaso Taste Vaikalya Durmana Iva. Rupam Bhagavato Yattan Manah Kantam Shuchapaham Apashyan Sahaso Taste Vaikalya Dharmana Iva. Rupam Bhagavato Yattan Manah Kantam Shuchapaham Apashyan Sahaso Taste Vaikalya Dharmana Iva.
Rupam Bhagavato Yattan Manakantam Suchapaham Apashyan सहसोत्तस्ते
अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
रूपं भगवतो यत्तं
रूपं भगवतो यत्तं मनाकान्तं सुचापहम् अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
रूपं भगवतो यत्तन्
रूपं भगवतो यत्तं
मनाकान्तं सुचापहम्
मनाकान्तं सुचापहम्
पश्यामि सहसोत्तस्ते
अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
वैकल्प्या दुर्मना इव
वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
रूपं भगवतो यत्तन्
रूपं भगवतो यत्तं
मनाकान्तं सुचापहम्
मनःकान्तं सुचापहम्
पश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
एकलव्या दुर्मना इव
वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
रूपं भगवतो यत्तन्
रूपं भगवतो यत्तं
कान्तं सुचापहम्
मनःकान्तं सुचापहम्
अपश्यान् सहसोत्तस्ते
अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
एकलव्या दुर्मना इव
वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
Mataji's
रूपं भगवतो यत्तन्
रूपं भगवतो यत्तं
मनःकान्तं शुचापहम्
मनाकान्तं सुचापहम्
अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते
वैकल्यव्या दुर्मना इव
वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव रूपं भगवतो यत्तं मनःकान्तं सुचापहम् अपश्यन् सहसोत्तस्ते वैक्लव्या दुर्मना इव
translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Srila Prabhupada. The transcendental form of the Lord, as it is, satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as usual, when one loses that which is desirable. That the Lord is not formless is experienced by Narad Muni, but his form is completely different from all forms of our material experience. For the whole duration of our life, we go on seeing different forms in the material world, but none of them is just apt to satisfy the mind. Nor can any one of them banish all perturbances of the mind. These are the special features of the transcendental form of the Lord. And one who has once seen that form is not satisfied with anything else. No form in the material world can any longer satisfy the seer. That the Lord is formless or impersonal means that he has nothing like a material form and is not like any material personality. As spiritual beings having eternal relations with the transcendental form of the Lord, we are, life after life, searching after that form of the Lord, and we are not satisfied by any other form of the material appeasement. Narad Muni got a glimpse of this, but having not seen it again, he became perturbed and stood up all of a sudden to search it out. What we desired life after life was obtained by Narad Muni, and losing sight of him again was certainly a great shock for him. Didrukshastadaham bhuyah pranidhaya manohridi Vikshamano pina pashyam avitrukta ivaturaha. I desired to see again that transcendental form of the Lord, But despite my attempts to concentrate upon that heart with eagerness to view the form again, I could not see him any more, and thus dissatisfied, I was very much aggrieved. There is no mechanical process to see the form of the Lord. It completely depends on the causeless mercy of the Lord. We cannot demand the Lord to be present before our vision, just as we cannot demand the sun to rise whenever we like. The sun rises out of his own accord, so also the Lord is pleased to be present out of his causeless mercy. One should simply await the opportune moment and go on discharging his prescribed duty in devotional service of the Lord. Narad Muni thought that Lord could be seen again by the same mechanical process which was successful in the first attempt, but in spite of his utmost endeavor, he could not make the second attempt successful. The Lord is completely independent of all obligations. He can simply be bound by the tie of unalloyed devotion. Not easy, visible or perceivable by our material senses. When he pleases, being satisfied with the sincere attempt of devotional service, depending completely on the mercy of the Lord, then he may be seen out of his own accord. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manishtam Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sajivam Sagaitam Savadutam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lila Shri Vishakanitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusuti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devascha Patikanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. क्या पवार साहब वेलकम बैक. कब आए? हाँ? Hare Krishna. This is a very wonderful verse. Last week we were discussing how Narad Muni meditated after hearing from his spiritual master. Right? Tasmin nirmarjane ranye pipalopasta ashritam atman atmanam atmastam yatashitam achintayet. As he heard. Right? So we should not concoct any process. That's why it's called Sanatana. We don't accept any new process. And then Dhyayatesh Charanambojam Bhava Nirjita Chetasa. औकंठ्य अश्रुकुलक्षस्य हृदय आसी में सनई हरि. So I don't know how many days and how many months it took him. He was meditating on the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. Then Krishna appeared in his heart. And प्रेमाति भरि निर्भिन्ना पुलकांगो अति निवृतः आनंद संप्लवो लीनो ना पश्येन उभयोर्मुने. So all his senses became enlivened in great love for Krishna. Each and every sense became enlivened. Then the tears started flowing from his eyes. Then he could not see the form of the Lord. He could not see the Lord and himself also. Napashyen ubayor muni. Right? Rupam bhagavato yattat manakanta shuchapah. So that the transcendental form of the Lord, when he had darshan of the Lord, a glimpse only, he had only a glimpse of the Rupa of the Lord. Then Manakanta Shuchapaham, all his mental incongruities, they became washed away. But Apashyan Sahasotasta, then Lord disappeared from his heart. Not able to see the Lord, he became very unhappy. Just like when somebody obtains very valuable thing and then he loses it, then how he laments. In the same way, Narad Muni was feeling very bad. Then he tried to see the form of the Lord again, but he could not, because only by causeless mercy, Krishna's anugraha, when he appears in our heart, we were able to see him. So this is a Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajanantu mama bhuta maheshwaram mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim shrita mahatmanastu mam partho Daivim Prakritim Ashritam Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Jnatva Bhutadi Avyayam Satatam Kirtayantuma Yatantasya Dridamrita. So when I appear as a human being like Lord Rama and Lord Krishna, people deride me thinking that I'm an ordinary human being. They don't know my potencies. I am the Lord of all the living beings. Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. Param Bhavam Ajananto. They don't know my transcendental potency. Such people, they are foolish. Mudha. Right? Mudha. So, this Rupa Saundaryam is very important because we are just like there are insects which become attracted to the fire, right? And they fly towards the fire and they fall into the fire and they get burnt. In the same way, human beings, they become attracted to the form of the opposite sex. Men are attracted to the form of a woman and women are attracted to the form of a man. Everybody, up to Brahma, from a small living entity up to Brahma. Everybody is attracted like that. So this is what keeps us in the material existence. Attraction to the form. There, it is Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. Right? Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. Of all the senses, the eyes are the most important. Nayanam Pradhanam. So we see everywhere, here and there. We keep on become attracted to different various forms of the Lord, of the material forms. Prabhupada said, one disciple complained, mentioning to Prabhupada that Prabhupada, whenever I see a girl, my head turns towards her automatically. Right? I just can't help it. And Prabhupada said, you rascal, be careful. You will become blind in the next life. Enjoying the forms of women. In Bhagavatam 5th canto, it is mentioned that those men become attracted to form of a woman, and those women who are attracted to form of a man, and who indulge in illicit relationships. Such people are taken to a particular kind of hell. And for men, they will make a form of a woman with fire element. And for women, they make the form of a man with fire element. And they will be made to embrace those forms. And those who enjoyed here, and then they will know. Right? So very dangerous. Right? Be warned. Especially so much nonsense is there on the mobile phones and TVs. One should avoid. It is a very, very dangerous thing. But Prabhupada said, if you become attracted to the form of the Lord slowly, then we will lose attraction for the form of the. So that is why Krishna appears in this material world. And those devotees who have seen the Lord, they make deities paintings, right? And then we should actually Rupa Smarana, we should do continuously. We should continuously remember the form of the Lord. For that, we should understand that the form of the Lord is transcendental. 9th chapter, 4th verse. Tell, what is that? Hello, Sujata? 9th chapter, 4th verse. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyaktamurtina. Prabhupada says, see, this impersonal also has a form. Everything has a form in this world. Just like Ganga is there. Ganga is flowing, but ultimately there is a person, Ganga. Ganges, right? Kaveri, there is one lady, Kaveri. Samundar, person. Everything has got a form. Right? Impersonal. That's why Krishna is saying, Prabhupada is saying in the lecture based on this verse. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina, impersonal form. Because nothing can exist without form. Right? But the form of Krishna is transcendental. Krishna's form is made of Dhruv Maharaj. Huh? Krishna's form is made of? Huh? Why are you doing? How many times you will go? Don't go again, okay? Krishna's form is made of? Huh? Pruta? Huh? हाँ बोलो जोर से बोलो हाँ मम्मी के ऊपर शॉटिंग करते कि नहीं बोला ना the daughters, easiest target for daughters is mother, right? जोर से बोलने का हाँ बोलो हाँ सच्चिदानंद विग्रह right? Why are you hiding? I'll ask questions. किधर है नोट मेकर? Where is who is making notes? Huh? Prabhupada made one very interesting point. Right? One very interesting point. Krishna performed so many wonderful activities, like lifting Govardhan hill, killing, Putana at the, when he is 6 days old. So many wonderful activities, right? He could not have performed such wonderful activities if he had a material body. Right? If he had a material body, he would not have performed, he could not have performed all these wonderful activities, transcendental activities. Krishna is coming, even Kunti Maharani, she was bewildered. Maya javani ka channam ajnanam adokshajam avyayam na lakshase mudadrushe nato natyadharo yatha. She's saying she was bewildered because Uttara came running, my dear Krishna, please save me, please save me. Right? And then Krishna was standing there. He was hearing. And then he saw Drauni, Ashwatthama's, Brahmastra attacking the embryo in the womb. Krishna entered inside the womb of Uttara. He was present on the chariot at the same time. He entered the womb of Uttara. So, seeing this, she was bewildered. How, Then she was concluding. She was concluding, oh, you are this. Even it's very bewildering. Even jnanis also, they become bewildered by your wonderful activities. So, unless he had a transcendental body, he could not have performed all these activities. We cannot perform, right? All these activities. Right? Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, बार-बार फोन करते हैं. When we are small, right? Just like you take a piece of wood, the size of the fire depends on the size of the wood. Isn't it? Isn't it? If the larger the wood is, larger the fire. Smaller the wood. In the same way, our bodies are there. When we are small, our intelligence is not evolved. Our consciousness is not evolved. But the body is growing, our intelligence and consciousness also, they expand. Right? This happens even up to Brahma. It's like that. But Prabhupada writes, Krishna is known as Ekarasa. Right? When he was 6 days old, that time also he was a Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he is 120 years old, that time also he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because his intelligence is always, Akunta Medasa, not curtailed. Right? So, even when he appeared also, right? He appeared as a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Tam adbhutam balakam ambujekshanam. Right? Chaturbhujam Shanka Gadayudayudham Srivatsa Lakshmam Galashobi Kaustubam Pitambara Sandra Payoda Saubhagam Maharha Vaidurya Kiriti Kundalam Tvisha Parishvakta Sahasra Kuntalam Uddhama Kanchana Kankananganam Virochamanam Vasudeva Aikshata. Right? When Vasudeva, he saw this form of the Lord when he was born. When we are born, we are not like that. Even Lord Ramchandra is not like that. Right? Later on, people came to know. Otherwise, Krishna is, Krishna's incarnation is Bhagavat avatar right from the birth. Even right from the womb also, he is Bhagavan. He is known as Bhagavan. Right? So, the demigods, they came and offered prayer like that. So, this is Krishna. Right from the child birth, he was Bhagavan. He did not hide himself. Like Ramchandra had to hide himself as Bhagavan. But Krishna, right from the birth. Right? So he appeared in a transcendental form, in four-handed form of the Lord. Bhagavan. Right? Adbhutam Balakam. Very wonderful child. We don't see such wonderful child. Adbhutam Balakam, Tam Ambujekshanam. Right? He has a lotus eyes. Then Chaturbhujam Shanka Gadayudayudham. Right? He came because in order to assuage the fear of Devaki, he appeared with Shankachakra Gada Padma because she is afraid that Kamsa will kill. Oh, if Kamsa comes, I will kill him. Don't worry, I'll kill. Right? Then Srivatsa Lakshman, his chest, there is a mole, a symbol of Lakshmi Devi, Srivatsa Lakshman. Galashobi Kaustubam, he is wearing Kaustuba Mani around his neck. Pitambara Sandra Payoda Saubhagam, he was wearing, we all born naked, right? We don't wear clothes and take birth. Right? Then Srivatsa Lakshman, Galashobi Kaustubam, Pitambara Sandra Payoda Saubhagam, very wonderful yellowish cloth. And then Maharha Vaidurya Kirita Kundalam, Vaidurya gems. And then he was wearing Kirita, crown, studded with the diamonds, jewels, beautiful, shining. Stone, valuable stones. Then Vaidurya, then Uddhama Kanchana Kankananganam. He was wearing golden bangles, golden nupur, golden waist belt, everything fully decorated. Right? And then Tvisha Parishvakta Sahasra Kuntalam. He was Ghane Bal. Beautiful black hair, with curling, with curls, right? And In our childhood, I wanted a curling hair. So somebody told, so I used to put oil and then with pen and all. I used to do like this, like. Then I got it, no? Curling hair. I had a very long, beautiful hair. Father was crying. इतना अच्छा बाल काट दिया. That after, but Krishna had, all this curly hair, beautiful. Virochamanam Vasudeva Aikshata. That's how Vasudeva saw. And then the jail cell, became lighted up. All Andhakar went away. Like that. So you remember these verses, only 2 verses. And you pray to Krishna. Every day I pray. I remember this verse and I pray to Krishna. Just like you appeared in the jail cell, please appear in my heart also. Pray like that. One day Krishna will appear. Like Narad Muni. Remember this, very important, nice, beautiful verses. Remember these verses. And then pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, just like you appeared in the jail cell of Vasudeva and Devaki. My heart is also like a jail cell, Andhakar. Please appear in my heart and light up with knowledge. Right? In the same way, we should pray to Lord Nrsingadev also. Anybody knows that verse? Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namah Tejas Tejasa. Avir Bhava. Vajranaka Vajradamshtra. Karma Sayam. Randhaya Randhaya. Tamo Grasa Grasa. Om Swaha. Abhayam Atmani Bhuyishta. Om Shravam. My dear Lord Nrsingadev, please appear in my heart with your sharp nails. Destroy the andhakar in my heart. That is the meaning. The tamogud, you destroy, the desire for karma. Namo grasa grasa, karma sayam, randhaya. We have a strong desire to perform karma so that we can enjoy in this material world. So we pray to Lord Nrsingadev, my dear Lord, please appear in my heart with your sharp nails, which are like Vajra, strong like thunderbolt. Vajranaka, Vajradamshtra, then please tear apart my heart and then crush my material desires and then destroy Tamogun. Right? Lord is very merciful. Then Devaki prayed, my dear Lord, please become like a normal child. Then Prabhupada writes in the purport, Arjuna again requested that I want to, Tenena Rupam, I want to see that form which you appeared. Then Krishna showed that form. First he showed Vishwarupa, Arjuna did not like. Then Arjuna prayed, Tenena Rupam, I want to see that form in which you appeared to Devaki, in front of Devaki. Then Krishna showed that form, and then again he came back to his original form. 2-handed, Dvibhuja, like a Manusha Akar, like that. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why he can fulfill the desire of the devotee, in which form he wanted to see. Right? This is transcendental form of the Lord. So people derived because he appeared like an ordinary human being. He was carrying out the orders of Arjuna. He was being bound by Mother Yashoda. See all these activities. He was doing politics. He was very cunning. Right? In Telugu, they have a very beautiful word for Krishna, Jagannataka Sutradhari. Right? Telugu? మీకు తెలుసా? చెప్పండి. యా, జగన్నాటక సూత్రధారి. बहुत ही he makes play, like that. Jagannatic Sutradhari, like that. So people think, he made Yudhishthira to tell lies. In order, Prabhupada writes, in order to understand that Krishna's activities are transcendental, you need a very deep study. You have to make a very deep study, deep understanding. Otherwise, you will become bewildered. That how can Krishna do this? Third kind of Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, you read. Prabhupada explained Moshal Leela very nicely. You become bewildered. How Krishna did all that? His family members, he made them killed. He himself was lying under a, this pipala tree. Then he was shaking his leg, and then somebody hits. Then all this natak he has done. People become bewildered. How his activities are transcendental. Like that. But if you make a deep study and read Acharya's commentaries, then you are firmly fixed in your mind that Krishna's activities are transcendental. Then your life will become successful. That's why you should, Prabhupada said, you must study scrutinizingly, his books. Read 3rd canto, 3rd chapter. Uddhava is explaining. Uddhava is bewildered, Vidura is bewildered. How, like that, So it is very inconceivable, his activities, like that. But he is always transcendental. He is never affected by Namah Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sadudbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya. Grihita Shakti Tritayaya Dehinam Antarbhavasya Anuplakshma Vartmani. This is the first prayer by Sukadeva Goswami, Mangalacharana prayer. Namah Parasmai Purushaya Bhuyase Sadudbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya. In order to do Srishti, maintenance and destruction, you accept 3 modes of nature. Grihita Shaktir Tritayaya Dehinam Antarbhavaya Anuprakshma Vatmini. You are inside and you are outside. It's very bewildering. He accepts. Then Prabhupada writes, he accepted Brahma, the body, he becomes Brahma and Shiva to destroy and then to create. And then he becomes Vishnu to maintain. But Vishnu is always, body is transcendental. But Brahma and Shiva's bodies are material. But he accepted these 3 modes of nature. Even though he accepted 3 modes of nature, he is not affected by the 3 modes of nature. Right? These are all philosophical truths you must understand. Krishna's body is completely transcendental. Then, if somebody bewildered by such knowledge, thus bewildered, Prabhupada writes, Mogasha Moga Karmana Moga Jnana Vichetasaha. Right? Thus bewildered by, delusioned by such theories that Krishna's body is material. They take to the atheistic and demoniac theories. And for such bewildered souls, their desire for liberation, Mogasha Moga Karmana Moga Jnana Vichetasaha, right? Their desire for knowledge, their attempts for karma, everything become ruined. Prabhupada writes in the purport that if anybody, even if somebody is a devotee, if somebody is a devotee who is practicing Krishna consciousness, if he thinks that Krishna's body is made of matter, his endeavor for liberation or attaining Vaikuntha, they will fail. Right? Somebody who thinks that Krishna's body is material, You should not look at somebody, that fellow, that person's face. If you look at that person's face, you must take snan, savastra. ऐसा बार बार you will suffer from pneumonia. इतने सारे लोग पड़े हुए हैं. Every second person is such a Rasi, demon, you know. They say Krishna's body is material. In this regard, please remember, very important point I am going to make. Even if a devotee who is practicing Krishna consciousness, if he thinks that the deity form of the Lord is material, the form of the Lord when Krishna appeared in 5000 years back is material. Even if he is worshipping, practicing Krishna consciousness, if he thinks like that, he will take birth as a demon in the next life. Be careful. No, you should never think that Krishna's deity form is material. थोड़ी देर के लिए एसी बंद करो. नहीं तो फ्रीज, it would be frozen. This is called, world of duality. Dhruv Maharaj, he had a very, very stupendous desire. He had two problems, One was his revengeful mentality towards his stepmother and stepbrother. He was very angry. He had to deal with this anger problem, inside his heart. So we should be very, very careful not to harbor anger towards any person. Even your sharpest critic, even the staunchest enemy also, don't harbor anger towards that person. It will create lot of problems in our spiritual life. Like Dhruv Maharaj had. He had to deal with that anger because these two things Prabhupada writes, one is his anger towards stepmother and stepbrother, revengeful attitude, and another is he wanted a kingdom. Then Narada Muni advised Dhruv Maharaj, go to Tattat Agaccha Vadram De Yamunayam Tatam Suchi. Right? Punyam Madhuvanam Yatra Sannidhyam Nityadahari. Go to Yamuna, on the bank of Yamuna, take bath regularly. And go to Madhuvan, you go to Madhuvan where Krishna resides eternally. Sannidhyam Nityadahari. Hari lives permanently in Madhuvan, Vrindavan, Mathura. Go there. Then he also advised him, how to meditate on the form of the Lord. Right? Hare. Prasada abhimukena yat shashvat prasanna vadanekshana sunasam subruvam charu kapolam surasundaram tarunam ramaniyangam aruna ushta adhara ikshanam. Pranata ashrayanam nunam. Sharanyam karunarnamam. Shivatsankam ganashyamam. Purusham vanamalinam. Shankachakra gada padma. Chaturbhujam adhikritaha. Kiritinam kundalinim. Keyura valayanvitam. Kaustubhavarana grivam. Pitavashesha kaustubam. Like that, he describes the beautiful form of the Lord. Right? So, in various sections of Bhagavatam, the beautiful form of the Lord is described. Second kind of Bhagavatam also, second chapter. Evam svachitte svatayeva siddha atma priyato bhagavan anantaha tam nivruto niyatarto bhajeta samsar hetu paramamshayatra kechitsva dehantara hrudayavakashe pradesh matram purusham vasantam. Right? Chaturbhujam kanja radanga shanka gadadara dharanaya smaranti. Like this, beautiful form. This is how, Sukadeva Goswami,
This is from which?
second canto, second chapter. Prasannavatram nalinayate kshanam kadamba kinjalka pisanga vashasham lasan maharatna hiranmayangadam spuran maharatna shanka kirita kundalinam. Like this, everywhere, whenever Sukadeva Goswami has to describe, he described the form of the Lord. Because everybody is addicted to impersonalism. So meditating on the form of the Lord is the most important thing. Throughout all the cantos, Krishna's form is described everywhere. Whenever Krishna appeared, when the Lord appeared in front of Chitraketu, then it is described how Lord looked. So in the same way, Dhruva Maharaj, he performed this meditation on the form of the Lord. Prasada avimukena shashvat. Prasanna vadanekshanam. Like Prabhupada writes, Surasundaram means most beautiful than all demigods. Prabhupada writes. This is how you should remember the Lord every day. Right? Every day. Like that. Yesterday I was reading in Adilila Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter, I think 20th verse or something, 19th verse. Prabhupada writes that while chanting the mantras, one should remember the spiritual world. Right? While chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you should remember Krishna's form, Krishna's Vrindavan Dham. Krishna's walking around in Vrindavan Dham. Govardhan, Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. You went?
Yes, I went Radha Kund and Vishram Kund also, which is in Mathura. Vishram Kund.
Which one?
Vishram Ghat.
Yeah, Vishram Ghat. Yeah. You should remember all this pastime. That's why I take you all every day, every time. You should remember all these places. That's how, So then you live in the world. You live in the spiritual world. Right? Like, so he had these two problems. One is anger towards stepmother and stepbrother, and his desire for kingdom greater than Brahmaji. So the tapasya he had done, unheard of. Unheard of. Right? Unheard of. Adharam Mahadadinam Pradhana Purusheshwara. Brahma Dharanaya Manasya Trilokam Chakampire. When he was doing tapasya, he became so heavy that all the three worlds started shaking. Chakampire. Kampan. Trilokyam Chakampire. Itna. With Angushta, Nishvidyamanam Angushta, with one is big toe, the entire world is crushed. Aadha chala gaya. Bhumi aadha chala gaya. Then all the demigods were thinking, Pralaya aa raha hai. Then he captured the heart, Lord in the heart. Then he became one with the Lord. That's why he became heavy. When he stopped breathing, all the three worlds also stopped breathing. And wonderful activity. Adbhutam. Right? Then Krishna appeared. He was, seeing the form of the Lord. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. Aruna Usta Ikshana Adaram. Pranata Ashranam Nunam. Sharanyam Karunarnam. Like this, all the beautiful form of the Lord. He was thinking. He was meditating. And then suddenly the Lord disappeared from his heart. And then, like Narad Muni became disturbed, perturbed. Like Dhruva Maharaj also became very perturbed. Then he's completely closing his eyes and concentrating on the form of the Lord. Continuously he was seeing the form of the Lord in the heart. And that form has disappeared. Then he became bewildered. What happened? And he opened his eyes. Right? The Lord appeared in front of him. When he saw, the tears started rolling from his eyes. And he offered obeisances to the Lord. Then he started crying, shedding tears. He wanted to embrace the Lord. He wanted to kiss the Lord. He wanted to smell the Lord. He wanted to touch the Lord. He wanted to hear the Lord. All the senses strongly desired. Then he wanted to offer prayers to the Lord. Then when the Lord understood, he immediately touched the conch on the head of Dhruva Maharaj. He was just 5-year-old boy. He did not know all the Vedic knowledge. Then Brahman, it is equivalent to Brahman. So Vedic knowledge, Brahman, another meaning is Vedas. That's why conch, we should meditate on the form of the Lord, blowing the conch on the chariot of Arjuna. Then your knowledge will be revealed in your heart one day. Like that. So he was seeing the form of the Lord. And he wanted to offer prayer to the Lord. Then he touched, and then entire Vedic knowledge, revealed in his heart. The whole tattva is revealed in his heart. So this is very important. He is Krishna Tattva Vedta. Krishna is very pleased with that person who understands his tattva. Nowadays, I deeply study the prayers, all the prayers, trying to capture the essence of the meaning of the Lord, all the prayers. And some of them I got actually. Then I meditate on the tattva of the Lord. उन लोग को क्लास है?
Yes, class
है? उधर लेके जाओ.
कुछ खाली नहीं तो गदा हल में देखता हूँ मैं लेके जाता हूँ टाइम है ना
Yeah.
गदा हल में देखता हूँ वृंदावन में कुछ प्रोग्राम करता है
Then he understood. Yantak pravishyama mavachimim prashiptam sanjeevita kleshaktidara svadhamna anyam stasar then he immediately started offering prayers. Then one prayer, in between it comes Tiryagnaga Dija Swarishrupa Deva Daitya Matyadibir Parichitam Sadasad Asesham Rupam Swavastitam Ajate Mahadadi Anekam Nataha Parama Vedmi Na Anyavadaha. Anyam Sahasrachana Shavanan Adibi. No? So this Tiryagnaga, my dear Lord, there are many forms in this universe. Tiryag, Chantus, Tiryag, Daga, Dvija, Sarishrapa, Deva, Daitya, means reptiles, and then the birds. All these various forms we see, 84 lakh species, he is explaining. These forms, sometimes they are manifest, sometimes they are unmanifest. Right? Sometimes they are unmanifest. But the form that I am seeing, Rupam Swavastita Ajate, after seeing this form, Nataha na param vedmi na yatra vadaha, all the arguments are finished. This is the ultimate form, my dear Lord. This is the ultimate form. Prabhupada writes that in the purport, that some people they serve dogs, some people they serve snakes, some people they serve elephants, some people they serve cats, some people they serve trees, some people serve demigods, some people like that, they are attached to various forms because they are not attached, they don't know the form of the Lord. But when he had seen the form of the Lord, this is the ultimate. They said, there is nothing like this form in any universe. Now all my doubts are cleared. Now I don't want anything. Swamin Kutatosmi Varam Nayachi. Right? I am looking for glass pieces, but I got diamond. Swamin Kritastosmi Varam Nayachi. So this is very important. Prabhupada writes that once you have seen the form of Lord Krishna or Vishnu or Ramchandra, then you don't want to see any other form. Any other form. So, Narad Muni, he also had seen this form. Right? He became amazed. Prabhupada writes that Rupam Bhagavata etad ashesha klesha sankshayam aviskrutam na krishtanam kimanyad anukampitam. This is a prayer by Prachetas. Dear Lord, we conditioned souls are always covered by ignorance in the bodily conception of life. We therefore always prefer the miserable conditions of material existence. To deliver us from these miserable conditions, you have advented yourself in this transcendental form. This is evidence of your unlimited causeless mercy upon those of us who are suffering in this way. Then what to speak of the devotees to whom you are always so favorably disposed? In the purport of this verse, Srila Prabhupada writes that Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appears as Archavatara. Right? Archavatara. Prabhupada writes, I will quote this. The form of the Lord as worshipped in the temples is called Archavigraha or Archavatara, the worshipable form, the deity incarnation. The facility is offered to neophyte devotees so that they can see the real form of the Lord face to face and offer their respectful obeisances and sacrifices in the form of Archa. Through such facilities, the neophytes gradually invoke their original Krishna consciousness. Deity worship in the form of the temple. Note. Deity worship in the form of temple worship is the most valuable benediction given by the Lord to the beginners. Right? So it is very important to come to the temple, take darshan of the Lord, appreciate the form of the Lord. Right? Simply by coming to Radhara's Bihari temple and just saying that how Krishna is so beautiful and appreciating Krishna's beauty, you will become a lover of God. You will attain love of God. Right? So that is why Srila Prabhupada so much stressed upon this aspect of deity worship. Prabhupada said, worship the deities gorgeously, dress the deities very nicely, so that how does one take darshan of the Lord? You should ankles.
Knees, thighs, abdomen.
Yes, gradually. Then, like he said, Prabhupada writes in 4th Canto Bhagavatam, you should make your eyes into your bumblebees and drink the nectar from the lotus face of the Lord. Right? Become attached to the form of the Lord, Krishna, and slowly, the attraction for other forms will reduce. Right? When you close your eyes, you should be able to remember Radhara's Bihari. Right? So very minutely you should take darshan of Radhara's Bihari. What Radhara's Bihari is wearing, how the turban was put, whether crown was put, which color dress Krishna is wearing, which color. Kidhar? वरना में खाली नहीं है? वृंदावन हाल खाली हो जाएगा?
नहीं, तुरंत प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, कुछ नीचे बतारूं में भी क्लास है आधा घंटा
5 to 7 बोला लोग
अभी है, मतलब अभी चल ही रहा है, मैं देख के आया नीचे वृंदावन।
चेक करो। So gradually, it'll take, Prabhupada says, it'll take time. Slowly. You render service to the deities, remember, hear about Krishna. So like this, slowly, gradually, our attraction for other forms should reduce. then your heart is absorbed in the form of the Lord, then one day Krishna will speak to you also. Right? You can speak to Krishna. Anyway, now I remember. Yanta pravishyamam vachimim prashuptam sanjivite kle shakti dhara swadhamna anyam stahasta charana shavanak tvagadibi pranam namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. This is the verse. So Dhruv Maharaj is saying that all till now all my senses are dead. I am a dead man. Now all my senses became enlivened. Right now I am alive. So those who are not seeing the form of the Lord, even though they are living, they are dead. Where actually when we will start living, when we see the form of the Lord. Because my senses, anyamsta hasta charana shravana tvagadivi, my hands, my legs, my mouth, they all became enlivened. They became alive after seeing you. Because you enter into them. Only when Krishna enters into our senses, then they become alive. Like that, we should be attached to the form of the Lord. Right? Otherwise, if somebody thinks that Krishna's form is material, Krishna's deity form is material, then what will happen? Yeah?
Demon is next.
He will take birth as a demon in the next life. What is that verse? Sattvam nache datari idam nijam bhavet. Vijnanam ajnana vidhavi marjanam. Guna prakashayir anumiyate bhavan prakashayescha ye gunaha. So this is a prayer by demigods in the 10th canto, 2nd chapter. So they are saying, my dear Lord, in the earlier prayer, Sattvam Vishuddham Shayate Bhavan Sthito Sharirinam Shreya Upayanam Vapuhu Veda Kriyayam Yoga Tapa Samadhibi Samarhanam Yena Jana Samihase. My dear Lord, you appear in various forms which are all transcendental. Sattvam Vishuddham Shayate Bhavan Sthito Sharirinam Shreya Upayanam Vapuhu Veda Kriya Yoga Tapa. You appear like Lord Kapila, you appear like Varaha, you appear like so many other forms to teach. Varaha taught Yajna, Kapila taught Sankhya. Like that, you in order to establish various worships, various forms of worship, you appear. All those forms are transcendental. Then he says, Sattam na ched tatar ijam nijam bhavet. Those who understand that your form is transcendental, they get vijnana. Right? When Vishnu Thakur says, anybody who accepts that Krishna's form is transcendental, that is vijnana. That vijnana will destroy ajnana. Vijnanam ajnana vidhavi marjanam. Ajnana vidhavi marjanam. Then Vishnu Thakur says that anybody who understands that Krishna's form is transcendental, he will get love for Krishna. Right? He will love for Krishna. So this aspect that Krishna's form is transcendental, did you understand? Huh? Did you understand? Did it enter your heart? Dhruv? Did it enter your heart? Huh? Sundrit? Aapka hriday mein, huh? Did it capture you? It's very important. Very important. Just this one aspect. Did you, huh? You understood? Krishna's form is, huh? Transcendental. Then you will get love for Krishna. Kumar Garu, did you understand?
Yes.
Did you capture this? Huh? This truth? Very important.
Explain in detail. Sachidananda Vigraha form of रोज 1 घंटा जैसे लग जाएगा.
हाँ?
1 घंटा लग जाएगा.
अरे बाबा, क्या करें?
इधर शाबाश लगा दो.
वरांडा में
हाँ वरांडा में.
लेके जाओ.
मैं साफ कर देता हूँ
नहीं
पहले.
तो टेरेस पे ले.
टेरेस पे ले लो.
हाँ?
ठीक है. ठीक है. टेरेस पे ले लो.
अंधेरे में बैठना पड़ेगा. हाँ? हाँ? Anyway, मेरे को I saw the ad in the group. Then I thought today we'll have problem. Shraddhanjali prayer meet 5 to 7. कोई मीनू अग्रवाल. हाँ? I think देवत कमिटी मेंबर का कोई वाइफ है, ऐसा कुछ है. That's why they gave the hall. Otherwise, Vrindavan hall Saturday Sunday is not given. So, anybody has any questions? Sachidanand Vigraha. Sat, our body is asat, means 70, 80, 100 years or any time, this body is made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. So Krishna's body is made of Sat and Chit and Ananda. Our body is Asat, means temporary. Achit, full of ignorance. And Nirananda, full of distress. But Krishna's body is made of Sat, means eternal. Chit means full of knowledge. And is always blissful. Those who are aiming impersonal liberation, they attain only Sat and Chit. They don't get Ananda. Only devotees of Krishna attain Ananda. Our bodies also originally are made of Sachidananda Vigraha. Even now we have that body. The soul has that body made of Sachidananda Vigraha. Because we are, there is one word, Pratak Bhava. We desired separately from Krishna, Pratak Bhava. That's why we got this body. But by worshipping Krishna, by performing devotional service, then again you will regain that form. Like that.
Prabhuji, you mentioned that if the Lord is satisfied with us, He'll appear in our heart. So, what state are we in? And He'll talk to us. So, is it like in dreams or meditation? What form?
In the presently, He will speak to us in the dreams. But when we become completely purified, Prabhupada says, Krishna is Supreme Brahman. Then for that you have to become Brahman to interact with Krishna. But now we are Jiva. From Jiva you have to become Brahman.
Prabhuji, we heard that we can see the Lord only by His accord, only by His will. Prabhuji, we have deities and we can make endeavor to come to the temple and see.
No. That is... only by mercy, when He calls us, we can see Him. Only by His mercy, we are able to chant. By His mercy, I am able to remember and speak. By His mercy, you are able to sit here and hear. Otherwise, last 2 weeks you do not come. Right? You don't have the mercy. Right? Otherwise, so many people have got so much disturbances like that. Only by His mercy we can come to the temple and take darshan. That you understand. This Arjuna understood when he travelled with Krishna to Mahavishnu Loka. Whatever opulence we have, it is because of Krishna. Whatever strength I have, it is because of Krishna. If anything that you have, it is because of mercy of Krishna. That is the meaning of the first verse of Dhruva Maharaj's prayers. Yeah.
When Arjuna saw the Vishwarup, then he became frightened. Then he requested Krishna to show his four-handed form, and subsequently two-handed form. So when Arjuna saw the two-handed form, he completely is satisfied because he says, Dushtvedam Manusham Rupam Tamasam Janardhana. So it's such a beautiful form. And we also know Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Sachidananda, Anadhiradhari Govinda, Sarvagavita. But especially if you see in South India, when Krishna appeared, he showed the four-handed form to Devaki Vasudev. Then on their request, he became a small boy of two-handed form. The Sri Sampradaya, they established originally the Vishnu, he is the Supreme Lord, and his avatar is Krishna. That is the way, they insist, they stress upon. When I was, doing engineering, that time I heard the Chanajia Swami's lectures. So that time he was very much stressing on this point. But we know, now we know Niki Ishvara Parama Krishna. But that time we were not knowing. Even in Agra also, you go and tell them, so they didn't believe because they don't know this look, this Ishvara Parama. So in South India it's very difficult to tell them, Krishna is the supreme, he is the original, but they don't believe.
आप किधर से? आप न्यूजीलैंड से क्या? आप साउथ इंडिया से हैं? You got convinced, na?
No, I got convinced. Yeah. But if I want to preach, if I go and preach, if I type of this thing, so they don't believe.
See, I was raised. I had the same opinion, but as soon as I read Prabhupada's book, I understood.
Now we understand.
Yeah, I understood. Prabhupada explains, Aham surasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samana. So, this is good fortune.
Yes. Now we understood it.
If you have good fortune, then you will understand. Otherwise,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Sri Lanka, at that time, Venkata Bhatta, his father, Gopal Bhatta's father, Venkata Bhatta, he preached the same thing.
Yeah.
She is worshipping and she is standing outside Vrindavan and doing tapasya. So why she is standing to enter the Vasada and associate with Krishna when she is a very most chaste woman. In that pastime we can read.
For life नहीं है, security is coming. Security आ रहा है चालू करने के लिए. We need our fire to
see, there is no problem, there is no difference. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tried to convince Murari Gupta, right? That give up worship of Ramchandra and then worship Krishna. Then Murari Gupta, whole night he tried, and then he said, please give me permission to commit suicide. He said, why? Because I cannot give up the lotus feet of my Prabhu Ram, then I cannot disobey your order. So then Mahaprabhu embraced him. I am just testing you. It's very, very fortunate to have a servant like you. You are actually Hanuman. So serve Lord Ramchandra. So there is no need to convert people from worshipping Narayana into Krishna. There is no need. So, but all are same. Only rasa is different. Rasa, you want to play with Krishna, then you have to worship Krishna. Otherwise, reverence and reverence, worship Balaji. Just like Parasar Bhatta, see, even though in their own Sampradaya also, Parasar Bhatta commented, when I go to take darshan of Ranganath, I get the fragrance of butter. So he concluded that Ranganath is Krishna. They have, but see, others they think Ranganath is Vishnu, right? Yeah?
You said that we have to accept philosophical truths very much. So how to increase our spiritual digestion power for all these?
Prabhupada said, read my books again and again. That's what I do. The same thing you read again and again. Then I am little mandabuddhi, so I have to read many times. Then I get. Maybe you are intelligent, so see, you can. Once, one CA was sitting in near emergency, exit gate, in airplane. The air hostess comes and tells you cannot sit, emergency, exit. I said, why? Because you are CA. You have to open it at first attempt. Yeah. अभी मैं सोच रहा था कोई जोक नहीं आया हुआ आ गया योर मदर इंग्लिश आते हाँ समझ में आया माता जी हाँ కొంచెం yeah.
Ramanujan said God is Param Brahman and we are Brahma. Then now again he said we have to go from, we are now Jiva, and from Jiva we have to go to Brahman.
Originally we are Brahman. So Prabhupada explains it in, read Krishna book, you will know. Personified Vedas, Prabhupada explains. Chale? Huh?
Okay. Security has not come. Can we go to the Brahmachari ashram? Downstairs, we eat over there. Everything is ready, just take the buckets and eat.
But it has to open, na?
You said you can open, na?
Huh?
आप बोल दीजिए खुल जाएगा होगा अभी ओपन
हाँ दूध बांटते
सिक्योरिटी पे आए
ये सीढ़ी पे लगाई है ना
हाँ इधर खाली
यार लोगों पास वहाँ पे 20-25 लोग
कोई ब्रह्मचारी आश्रम ज़्यादा बेटर है वहाँ पे वैसे भी 11:30 बजे होता है रोज
कलश्री यात्रा कुछ नहीं
ओ वंशी वाले चाय ना